Hello, everybody. It is Monday, May 15th, and we are here for the Rock Your Life Monday Night Team Call. So nice to see all your beautiful faces. Let's start with some quick celebrations or gratitudes, any rank advancements that we have going on. I've seen a bunch of those popping up.
Who are you? Introduce yourself.
I'm Marci Weinstein. I'm so sorry. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Marci, and I'll be hosting the call tonight. Thank you, Jojo. So does anybody have any gratitudes or celebrations they'd like to share? Anyone? Paul?
Of course I'm going to share.
Please do.
So this past Saturday, I got to go to a Super Saturday here in Connecticut from another team, and it was really good. They had Dr. Ina Nozick there, and she's just amazing. I've never seen her talk as long as she did, and she did a live Q&A. Talked a lot about cleansing. She's been in this for 13 years, and she resists cleansing. I guess she doesn't like it. But she was in a funk, she said, for quite a few weeks, couldn't figure it out, talked to her husband about it, and she ended up jumping on a 9-day deep cleanse, and she said day 5 she was just completely out of it. So I mean, out of her funk, not loopy out of it. Get that straight. So and I didn't know that you can use that as a daily supplement either. So not only take it at night or take it in the morning, you can take it during the day, like 2 hours after you have a shake. But she said it was key to make sure you've got the other components that go with it, like the snacks and Isodelites and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And you can also take it with a bedtime belly buster. You just got to take them about an hour apart, do the belly buster first, and then do the cleanse. So pretty neat information. I'm glad I went, learned a lot, took a bunch of notes. So
awesome.
A lot of great leaders at that meeting. It was a great event. So good build up to this weekend.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. Thank you. That's great. Does anybody else have something to share?
Well, I'm grateful for every single person that we watched just totally blow it out of the water the last couple of weeks. We've had so many rank announcements and so many lives being changed. It's like hard to even keep track with Eliza and Lindsay and Paul and Bridget and Aura and oh my gosh, Debbie and Jody and Dr. Josh and Lisa went 4-star. So all just amazing. Team's been rocking and supporting each other. It's been fun to watch. So grateful for all of that.
Awesome, thank you. Well, there's one thing. A celebration could be that we have hit officially 224 Isagenix millionaires. Rah, rah, woo! The Stroud family. So I believe is it Raquette? Raquette and Greg?
Raquette.
Raquette. It's beautiful. So yeah, we have 224 Isagenix millionaires. It's amazing. A couple of things to go over. Sir, is there any other gratitudes or celebrations? Anybody want to raise their hand or just pop in? Vinny, I see you.
Hi.
Hello.
I am grateful that you are hosting this call tonight. That's my first gratitude. But
thank you so much.
Yeah, it's nice to see new faces hosting our call. It's really cool. Cool for us to watch people grow right before our eyes. So it's really cool.
Thanks, Vinny.
I'd also like to say I'm grateful that today the UK opened up. Isagenix in the UK opened up, and it's really profound if you think about it. I mean, this is an area of the world that a lot of nutritional companies would like to get into, but a lot of them can't because of the ingredients in their products and things like that, because the UK is a lot more strict than most most other countries, as far as, especially like Germany, which we're not in yet, and we soon will be, I'm sure. But it's really cool to see that. And there were 15,000 people today that were on pre-enrollment that entered our company, which is really cool. So I just like to say, even if you don't currently have somebody on your own private team that's in one of those countries in the UK, there's plenty of time. It's still a ground floor opportunity. It's going to be a ground floor opportunity for probably the next year or two. So jump on it, talk to people. I mean, sometimes, it takes a little while. We all know that, but don't give up, because this is a really, really big opportunity, especially considering we're going to be opening up more countries there as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vinny. Yeah, I had someone, a family friend, contact me. He's actually in Ireland, but he's in Lower Ireland. And he was just explaining that, he was reaching out because he saw we were coming into the UK, and unfortunately we're not where he is yet. But he was explaining that, they don't have a whole lot of good nutrition over there. It's all, not to say meat and potatoes isn't great, but, it's a lot of, not very sport oriented or health oriented nutrition. So yeah, moving over to the UK is mind blowing. And I think it's just going to blow up Europe when we get there. So there was something that I had posted in Rock Your Life that I had just seen on Isagenix Business, and I just wanted to share it with you guys if you didn't see it. There's a training series that Angelique Nori had posted, and it's going to be, I think, 8 weeks long, and you have to actually go into Isagenix Business on the actual post that she posted, and you have to actually opt into it, and then you'll get added to a separate group where there will be 8 weeks of trainings for top leader trainings. I think there were, I know Kathy Coover's doing the first training, and then there was a whole bunch of them. So if you are interested in that, just hop on Isagenix Business, and you can search for Angelique Nori, or any keyword that might pop in the search bar, and then it'll pop up. So, or if you have questions, go ahead and shoot them out to me. Yeah. So any other celebrations or information or gratitudes?
I have a real quick one. She's not, she's a little shy, but my sister-in-law is on her very first team call. So I wanted, she's like, I don't want anybody to see my face. So, but she's on, and so I'm super excited that she's here tonight. So, and getting to meet all of you.
Awesome.
I have two things.
Okay, so anything else, and we'll just close out and move on?
Can you hear me? Okay. So first of all, I want to welcome Tiffany Reeves for her being on for her very first time. And we can't see her face, I don't know why not, but we can, I know that she's here. So thanks for popping in, Tiff. And also remember that Wednesday night, we're starting our virtual launch series, where we're going to do, whether we do it every Wednesday, every other Wednesday, where we do like a quick 20-minute Zoom. So this week, and it would be great if everybody jumps on and supports, because obviously the more people that we have there, the better. So for all of us to support, and then for all of us to invite our people. And Laura is going to be presenting this week, and she's put together a great little 20-minute like PowerPoint. It's pretty cool what she's done. So I would love it for you guys to pop on and at least watch it and see what you think. And not that we have to do that every week, but it would be cool to, weave a bunch of different stuff in and out. So Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. And I posted a public event on my personal page. So if you guys want to share that, share the public one from my page. And then Dave's doing a presentation at 7 o'clock in Vegas, but we will Facebook Live it on the meeting Dave page. So if anybody wants to pop in and see that, we'll be there too. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, JoJo. I think I have a celebration. Chad, correct me if I'm wrong, but you hit the two star again last week.
We'll talk offline, Marcy. Yeah, we'll talk
All right.
offline.
All right.
That would mean
hiccup.
almost. That was an almost, but it's all good because it's coming.
Yeah, there's a little hiccup, and I meant to call you today, but I was slam busy.
All right. Well, sorry about that. Never
No,
mind.
that's okay. That's
Scratch
all right.
it.
It's all good. No, I love you
it'll be
for
soon.
helping, Marsh. I love you for helping.
It'll be soon.
Yeah,
It'll be soon.
it will be.
Okay. So, anybody else, and then we'll move on. Going once.
Yeah.
Okay. Chadwick.
The fact that if you keep your eyes open, what I'm going to say is totally profound, and if it hasn't happened to you, it will happen. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And there was a guy with an Isagenix that kind of fell into my path 2.5 years ago, and it's really neat when you meet someone, especially within Isagenix, who you just bond with. So obviously we're all bonded here on this call, but there's so many mentors within this company: Jojo, Vin, Josh, Lisa, whoever you resonate with. So just keep your heart open and your mind open, and I can guarantee you there's someone out there who you're going to resonate with just on a whole new level, and who's going to give you a mental 2x4 upside the head when you need it. And they're going to be able to say exactly the right thing at the right time to get you to that point where you're moving forward when you didn't feel like doing anything at all. So, I know, Jojo, I've had instances with you when I call you and you just, within a minute of the conversation, you know exactly what to say. So keep your hearts and your minds open to meeting and greeting anyone and everyone in this company that you can, especially at the big events, because there's some really, this company attracts some really special people of integrity. So that's my little 2 cents.
Thank you, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true. There's so many people out there, so many in the company that, and even if you just reach out to them, they'll most likely get back to you, even if they are, way up. I remember, I just share a quick story. There was one time where I messaged Patty Cepeda and she got back to me. So people will respond. So don't have that fear that people won't respond, because they will.
And I'll add to that just something real quick. Sorry.
It's okay.
There are people out there, we'll say in corporate America or in a competitive job or a not so fun environment, where they want to cut you down and they want to make you feel bad and they want to make you feel like you're not someone that they want to work with for whatever reason. And you never find that here. And what's neat about this is you can surround yourself with the people that you love, and people, like I said before, that you resonate with. And it's very powerful. So if you're just getting rolling with this company, buckle up.
Mm-hmm. It's a great place to be. All right, so let's put a closing to the celebrations and gratitudes. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. There's some awesome, nice, 10 or 15 minutes of goodness. I love it. Okay, so let's move on to Mr. Joshua Weinstein. He is going to share a little bit of his daily something of operations daily method of operations. There you go. He has just blown me away with what he does with this company and this personal development. And he's basically taken what he does on a daily basis with his JOB and has incorporated it into what he does with Isagenix. Continues to blow me away day by day, up at 5 a.m., making his contacts, literally blowing me away every day. So let's let him share a little bit about what he does, and I can guarantee you there are going to be some awesome nuggets, because I have learned so much from him. So Josh, please take it away.
Thanks, babe. I can hear you in the other rooms. That's cool. So many familiar faces. It's nice. Hi, everyone. Question for you all. Does everyone here use LinkedIn? Show of hands. Does everyone have a profile? Yeah. Does everyone use it every day? No, not everyone. Okay. So LinkedIn is the only thing I use. Like I'd say 95% of the time I use it for cold prospecting. Great tool. I highly suggest everyone sets up a profile if you don't have one. I'm going to go through kind of my own profile and I'm going to show it to you and just go through some things that I do every day on connecting and follow-ups and things like that. Feel free to interrupt me, ask questions as I'm going through. If you have a question regarding anything, just shout it out. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen here. Can everyone see that? Got it? Okay, cool. So when you sign into LinkedIn, this is your home screen. Everyone's looks the same pretty much. You're going to have, you see my mouse moving? All right. So here's the number of connections you have. Here's your profile, okay? So first things first, you want to have a profile that is not sketchy, and you want to have it filled out as complete as possible. Because if you're messaging people and connecting, nobody's going to respond to you if you don't have a professional looking profile. So step one, set up your profile with a nice professional picture, a summary of yourself, what you're passionate about, and fill out your experience and your education. Give yourself some skills and endorsements and join some groups, okay? That's step one. So step two, you have to connect with people, okay? That's the most important part. So under My Network up top, you're gonna have the People You May Know tab. Here's where you're gonna connect with everyone, okay? These are gonna be people that have mutual connections. So you're going to basically just scroll through. You're not going to connect with everyone because not everyone is a fit for this business. So, I mean, do you want me to go through clicking into each person and let you know why I would connect with that person? Would that be helpful? All right.
No.
I mean, so essentially you're looking for people that have marketing, sales, anything that you're looking for in a person, whether it's a background in nutrition or any type of practitioner, anyone really that has a skill or an occupation that is somebody that you want to connect with and reach out to. So just don't send random connections to people because that's just not going to make sense while you're connecting with them.
Honey, Don had a question.
Okay.
If you have a full-time job, are you listing both in LinkedIn? Right now I have a profile that's just set up to Isogenics.
Okay. My personal
question.
I would personally not put Isogenics on your profile. That's just me personally. Just because if you connect with somebody, they're going to see Isogenics, and then they're already going to kind of have an idea of what you're reaching out to them about, all right? But that's up to you. So I would definitely put your full-time position on there, absolutely. So, help.
Did that answer your question, Don? I can't see you. Can you say yes or no? Unmute yourself.
Hey, Josh, when you're saying not to put in, like not to use Isogenics,
yeah,
what do you recommend somebody do? So you're not saying don't say it, like just say it in a different way, or?
Yeah, maybe say, business owner or entrepreneur in health and wellness, right? That's just me personally, right? Just the same way you're not going to come out and say Isogenics when you're talking to somebody because you want to create curiosity. That's not, I mean, you can do whatever you're comfortable with. That's just me personally what I would do. So, all right. So after you have some connections, what I do every day is I go into my connection list. So you click see all. And then you're going to sort it by recently added. Okay, this is just what I do. And, take it for what it's worth here. So everything is going to be in order here. You're going to click into somebody that you connect with recently. And check out their profile. Eventually.
Maybe.
Maybe. No point. No. Okay, great. So on the top right of everyone's profile is going to have the contact information. Okay. So it has their email address, their phone number. Okay. For every person I reach out to, I take all of this information down and I put it in my CRM database, the CRM. Whatever you use for your contact manager, whether it's just your iPhone or a piece of paper, grab as much information about their contact info as possible so you can have multiple ways of reaching out to them if they don't respond to something. For starters, you're going to go to the profile, you're going to take their contact information, you're going to scroll all the way down, and you're going to shoot them some endorsements. Okay, you're going to do this with everyone. Okay. It's basically just having you show up on their profile, giving them a heads up that you're out there. So you're going to shoot them an endorsement, and then you're going to fire them off a message. So I'm going to send you guys all the scripts that I've been using lately. That over the last 2 weeks, I've gotten 16 appointments in the last 2 weeks using this one script. And keep in mind, cold prospecting is all I do, and you need to send it out to a lot of people because you're going to have a lot of no-shows. You're going to have a lot of people that watch the video and then don't show, and you're going to have a lot of people that do get on the phones. So just to give you an idea of my numbers that I've been tracking here, since May 1st, can you guys see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So since May 1st, the people in yellow are the people that I've actually had a conversation with and are actually qualified people that I'm continuing to keep in touch with. And there's good interest in possibly signing up. Everyone else either blew off the call or had a call and just went dark, or had a call and just wasn't a good fit, right? So that's about, I mean, you can see five people out of like 16 are actually qualified in 2 weeks. Okay, and of those 5, I'm hoping to get 2 or 3 enrollments in the next couple of weeks. So you need to reach out to a lot of people if you're going to be enrolling people in the cold market. And that's
Josh,
just me, and that's me on my skill level. I still have a lot of learning to do. So I think my numbers, I'm good with where they are for now, but they can definitely be a lot better. So I'm always learning and growing. But my suggestion is to reach out to as many people as possible because you're going to get a lot of no-shows. And I mean, you can see the numbers here. So are there any questions so far?
Josh, can you just share how you know when somebody watches a video and when somebody doesn't?
Absolutely. So IsoTools. I suggest the IsoTools app. So if everyone doesn't have it yet, you can't even see that. So when you send the video out through text or email, it notifies you when that person watches it. And you can actually find out exactly how much of that video they've watched also by percentage, which is a great thing to have. So
that's the IsoTools to go app.
Yeah. All right. So I'll take you through an example of just somebody I messaged and got an appointment with and kind of the process that I'm going through with this guy.
Josh, can I chime in for a second?
Yeah, please.
So I know when you were training somebody else, they went into their LinkedIn profile and they did not have any options to connect with anybody because their profile was new. So in that sense, correct me if I'm wrong, what you told them to do was just start searching for things that, so let's say, you know, in my instance, I'm a physical therapist. So what I would do is type physical therapist in the search bar and then people would pop up. So you start connecting with people, and then eventually you will start to have more people to connect with.
Yep.
Okay.
So the great thing about LinkedIn is that you can search by location as well, right? So this is helpful at all. So you type in what you want with the magnifying glass. And then on the right side of your screen, you can filter by location. And you can type in any location you want, right? And all of a sudden, it's just going to give you all the physical therapists in Hartford County. That's it, right? Start connecting with people. And the more people you connect with, the more suggestions you're going to have, and the bigger your network's going to be. So start start connecting with people.
Can you explain the difference between InMail and just connecting?
Sure. So on this screen, you'll see third and second. So a third connection is somebody that you have no mutual connections with. Okay. So you have to, it's a trick. You have to click into their profile and connect a different way. Eventually. There we go. You're going to see some dots right here. So InMail is a paid service. So you have to pay for it, and then you can send them a message without being in connection with them. Otherwise, you hit these three dots here, and you hit connect, okay? And then you can add a note if you want to personalize it, or just send now, and it's off. And then you wait for them to connect, and then you can send them a message without having to pay for it, okay? That's with a third connection. With a second connection, which means you have shared connections already, right? I think that's Chad, I think, and JoJo, I think, right? So just click connect, or you can click into them and connect that way. So.
And Peter Budo. I used to work with that guy.
Was that good for that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this gentleman right here, Matthew, I connected with. He has some skills that I liked, so I connected with him. I endorsed him, and I fired off a message to him.
And just to remind you guys, endorse, for those of you who are new to LinkedIn, endorsing is when Josh scrolled down on the person's profile,
All the way
and there were little X's
right here.
and check marks. Yeah, those are what their skills are. So that means you're endorsing them for, let's say, Microsoft Office, or, you know, for us, there's wellness and health and all that kind of stuff.
Everyone I reach out to is strictly opportunity, straight up. Like I don't talk product until I'm on the phone with them. I always reach out to people for opportunity. So I'm looking for people with marketing background, teamwork, leadership, social networking, social media skills, things like that. You find out where they graduated. I mean, there's so much information in here on their background. Okay, so I sent Matthew a message. This is the script right here that's been like awesome lately. I mean, use it or not, it's out here for everyone. I've been doing a lot of research on different scripts that might work, and I've been trying a lot of different ones, and this one has been getting a ton of hits on it. So it works for me, and I'm going to keep using it, but feel free to use it as well. I can send this to everyone if you want. So.
Yes, please.
All right, so I sent that out, right? Fires back, love to hear more about it, right? Great. Hop on the phone as soon as possible. You don't want to go back and forth explaining anything via chat, okay? You want to get on the phone with the person. So you always ask for the call. Great. You go back and forth about times. Agree on a time, gives me the phone number. I say, great. I'll send you a couple short videos before we talk, and that's it. Appointment set. I have his phone number. I tell him he's going to watch some videos before the call, and that's it. That's the appointment. Then I'm going to plug him into my phone. I'm going to send him through IsoTools the videos. I know when he watches it and how much he watches it. And then after that, if he shows up, awesome. You have the call. If he blows you off, it's going to happen. It happens a ton of times, probably 50% of the time. They blow you off because they watch it. They're either already in Isagenix, they're in another company, they've heard about it, they think it's a pyramid scheme, whatever it is, they're just not going to show up. But then a handful will, and then a smaller handful are going to join your business. But
Josh, when do you typically send the videos?
So that's the thing. I've been sending them about 2 hours before the scheduled appointment. So that gives them enough time to check it out. And, after that, hopefully they have on the call. Sometimes I'll also use that. I'll send the video 2 hours before, and maybe like an hour or half an hour before, if I feel like I'm in the mood to maybe invite Anna or JoJo to a three-way call or chat, and that'll be confirming that they still want to be on the call after they watch the video. Does that make sense? All right, so they watch the video 2 hours before. I send them a text 30 minutes before saying, hey, I'd like to invite my colleague so-and-so to the call. Is that okay? If they say yes, they're going to join the call. and they're at least open to learning more after watching the video. So it's just building confirmation.
I'm sorry, what video do you normally send?
So if they're under 35, I send them Start Your Life and Why Isogenics. And if they're over 35, I send Why Isogenics. Always. That's it for that. I strongly recommend using when you start connecting with people, you need some way to keep track of all these people that you're connecting with. So I recommend some pad and paper, if that's your thing, or a database of some kind to kind of keep track of who you're reaching out to, all their contact information, when you reached out to them, when your next follow-up is. You need some type of organization, because I reach out to like 20-something people a day, and without that organization, everything gets lost and people slip away. So this is what I use.
Hey, Josh, it's Vinny. I have a quick question for you.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on, because this is all about cold calling, basically. What are your thoughts on cold calling and looking for people that are already in another network marketing company, such as another nutritional company, which a lot of people do put it on their LinkedIn accounts. I've seen a lot of Advocare out there and things like that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that's worth your time to cold call people like that?
I personally don't like to cross-recruit anyone, because I wouldn't like to be cross-recruited. That's just personal preference. I'm happy with where I'm at, and I don't think it's personally ethical to try to get somebody out of another network marketing company, because we're all trying to build a business and do all that. So I just don't like doing that.
All right, thanks. I was just wondering what your thoughts were on that, because some people see it your way, a lot of people see it your way, and some people see it the other way, where they're
absolutely.
Well, our company's the best, so why don't I present them with this opportunity as well?
Yeah, sure.
Vinny, I will say that talking to somebody who is in another network marketing company makes it easier, because they already understand the business. You don't have to go through that whole, this is not a pyramid scheme. This is a legitimate business model. So there is that. There is that side of it. So it's hard to I see where Josh is coming from, and I see the other side as well. So, but just thought I'd throw that out there too.
Yeah, there have been times when I've bumped into people that are using other companies, but it's not on the profile. So I had no way of knowing that, and they watch the video like, oh, I'm already using Advocare. And at that point, I'll be like, okay, are you happy with Advocare? How long have you been with the company? Do you like the products? I just ask them those questions. If they say no to anything, then I might ask them if they're open to taking a look closer at this. But if they're happy, I'm just going to leave it there and just move on.
Right, that's a good thought. Also, the reason why I asked that, because I asked Todd Falcone the same question a few months ago, before, when we were getting ready to do our launch in the UK. And I asked him about it. He said in a situation like that, he goes, because since it is a new product going into a new country and other people are in network marketing, he didn't really see a problem with it, because you're introducing a new product to a new market. He said, but other than that, he agreed with you. It's not necessarily, it's not ethical, but it's kind of worthless in a way to try to recruit someone who's already in another company.
Yeah. Think about where you're coming from. Like you're not at all open to looking at another company, right? So it's almost like spinning your wheels most of the time. But you never know. You might hit somebody who's not happy, but
have you ever had anybody say that they're not happy?
I had somebody who used to do network marketing with It Works and wasn't currently in It Works, and she hated it, and then she joined Isogenics. But nobody that jumped over that was currently in another company. She's not in Isogenics anymore.
But you've also come across people who have been in network marketing companies and have kind of been burned by them.
Sure.
And have that fear.
Yeah, and they're already closed-minded because of it. Well,
some of them, yeah.
Some. Yeah.
Can I ask a question about the contact management part?
Yeah.
So you on the ISA Tools to Go desktop part, do you ever use that as a contact management system?
I do, because every contact I put into my phone syncs with that. So I use that, but I also use this. I don't think ISA Tools has enough features that I like to use as my main contact manager.
Right. So a lot of people don't realize that there's a desktop version
Yep.
of the app. So if
Sure.
you sign into the desktop version, it's got, you know, you can set up a drip system. You can keep track of your contacts. There's a lot of things that you can do with that other side of it. It's not just the device app.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of cool features with that, definitely. But
The desktop version is how you figure out how much the person has watched the video, correct? Because you can't see that on the phone.
That's right. Yep. That's true. So I don't know if there are any questions on this contact manager that I use or LinkedIn. But, just chat to a ton of people. The more people you talk to, the more calls you're going to have, and the more enrollments you're going to have. I mean, it's just for the cold market. Cold market is super hard. It's really hard, but I enjoy it. So,
Would you run through the steps one more time so you connect, like step 1, you do this, step 2, you do this?
yeah. So have a connection, right? So sign into your LinkedIn account. You're going to pop into this screen. Man, it's slow. Here we go. So you click on your connections. This is after you've already connected with somebody and you want to reach out to them. And you see all connections up here. And this is where you're going to see everyone that you've recently connected with. So for me, I have to go in order. I'm an order freak, and because I'm reaching out to so many people, I have to make sure I'm not missing anyone. That's why every time I reach out to somebody, I add them to this app with a task, and I'm going to follow up in case they don't respond to my first message. So it's super, like, you know, everything is like planned out. But, I say for start, just like connect with 5 people and start reaching out to them. So you go there, click into their profile, you endorse them, and you send a message. That's really it. You scroll down, and you endorse them. Just click the little plus button. You scroll up, message, you pop in. I mean, you don't have to do that script. You can just say, hi, thanks for connecting, learning more about you, you know, and then ask them for a job and start a conversation. But I can't do that with 20 people a day and have all these slow moving conversations going. So I just fire it off. And if they're interested, great, we set up a call and move on.
What is the purpose of endorsing people? I still don't understand that part.
When you endorse somebody, they're going to get notified that you endorse them for those skills. Okay? So it basically just puts you on their radar. That's all. And then they have an opportunity. Sometimes they're going to thank you for it. And then you just have a conversation right there before you even reach out to that person.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you go to your own notifications, right, you're going to see she endorsed me for 10 skills. So you can click on that button and say thanks. Right? And then just start a conversation.
Josh, Jenny Rose asks, do you post a lot on LinkedIn?
I don't. I definitely suggest you guys do, but there are reasons I don't post publicly on social media about Isogenics based on my personal job. But if you don't have any restrictions with your job, post a lot. Absolutely. Join groups, post in groups, comment on things, be as active as you can on LinkedIn, commenting and liking and posting and things like that in different groups. Me personally, I just kind of stay in the background and just fire off messages and do it that way.
Can you talk a little bit about the groups?
Yeah. So let's see here. You know, say you want to join a group about health, right? You can do, I gotta get better with groups, but I don't do so much with groups. So if you search for something, there's a button where it says groups, click on that. Look to see all these health and wellness groups, right? Look how many members are in these things. Okay. So once you join a group, you can actually message people without even being connected with them. It's like 10 people a month or 15 people a month if you're in the same group. So once you're in that group, you can click on members. These are all the people that are in the group. Okay. I'm not showing you more. Oh, there you go. And then you can just fire them off a message just because you're in the same group with them. You don't have to be connected with them.
Do you get into active conversations on the group pages? So when they're talking about stuff, do you respond? And
No, I don't. I try to have limited visibility on LinkedIn,
okay.
but I highly suggest everyone else that doesn't have a restriction be as active as possible there.
So now when you're not, so does it, with posting on LinkedIn, is it like Facebook where it shows you get more exposure to people if you're posting more?
That I'm not sure about. I've never really looked into it. I know, Marci, you post on LinkedIn a lot. I don't know if there are algorithms on LinkedIn that are like Facebook. I'm not sure if that works. I think everyone sees everything, right?
I'm not sure of the algorithm. I should probably learn that, but I don't know. I know that, you know, when you go on somebody's page, it'll tell you, you know, what post they've either shared or liked, or you know, so you can go in and see what their interests are through looking at what they post, or looking at what they like and what they've shared, or what they've commented on somebody else's post. Sometimes what I like doing is just scrolling through my news feed. Like, so let's look at this girl right here, Nicole Braun. So Josh is most likely connected with Ashley Atherton, who liked this.
Exactly.
I'll go into that and I'll look at the 17 likes and I'll start connecting with those people, depending on what the topic is. But so, yeah, I'd go in there and look at those people, and I would connect. Like, there's so many ways that you can find people on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you can have so many connections. I think you can have like 20,000 connections. So it's much bigger than Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a limit.
Yeah, there might not even be. I don't think they put you in LinkedIn jail like they do in Facebook. So
Yeah.
but that's it. I mean, I don't know if anyone has any questions on that, but
Josh, do you have the professional LinkedIn or do you have just the basic?
no, just basic. I don't see a need to do professional or anything higher than that.
Do you know what the difference is off the top of your head?
I don't.
Okay, just
I
curious.
think one might give you a certain number of in-mail credits,
Yeah.
and I think unlimited search. Because sometimes if you do a search for a particular industry or something, they're going to limit your number of searches in a month. But typically wouldn't have that issue if, you know, if you use your My Network and recently, people you may know tab, that's unlimited. Just keep scrolling through that and connecting with people.
Yeah, and there'll also be people that you can connect with that you wouldn't be able to connect with on just the basic. So if somebody else has the pro and they only want people connecting with them who have the pro, I think there's probably some kind of, you know, privacy setting or something that you can't connect with them unless you have that pro. Because there has been people you see that you just can't connect with them anyway. So.
Do you have a script at all for product, or is it only business?
It is only business.
I have product.
Marci has product. I'd like to see the product one, please.
Could we post those in the files, those two different scripts, so depending on which way somebody wants to go? That would be really
So
helpful.
here's a suggestion just based on doing this for a little while. If somebody doesn't respond to the first message, always follow up with them at least once, because I've hit so many times when somebody reads it, gets to respond, but meant to, but it's going to fall off their radar, and then I fire them a message a week later, just like following up, whatever, and they're like, "I'm so glad you messaged me because I meant to respond, but I didn't." So always follow up at least once, even if you don't hear back from them. It doesn't mean they're not interested.
Do you follow up with them in LinkedIn, or do you use their contact information on the right-hand side to like send them an email?
Sometimes. So in LinkedIn, which is really cool now, you can actually see when they've read it. Okay. So if you click on the message, you can see their little face right there. That's new, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people don't have this setting for some reason, if they have like an older app or an older computer or something. But more often than not, if they've read it, I'm going to only message them again on LinkedIn because I know they got it. If I don't see that little face, I'm probably going to email them a week later.
Do you try to transfer them over to Facebook at any point?
Typically, once I get the appointment set, I'll look them up on Facebook and send them a friend request once I have the appointment set, if they're easy to find. If they're not, then I don't want to be a creeper and like really dig in deep and try to find them and be like, "Hey, you know, I found you." But after I talk to them on the phone, I always connect with them on Facebook. That's what I do at the end of every call, whether or not they're signing up or not on that call. But yeah, the more people you connect with, the better. But always follow up a week later if you do not hear back from them. Always. I've been talking to this guy, Devin, for 4 months now. We still haven't gotten on the phone, but he's really interested in talking. But, you know, just keep following up with people. There's another guy, right? Same script. Oh, I used a different script for that one. But, yeah, so that's a different script I was using for a while. Nothing to do with health and wellness. He had no idea what I'm talking about. I just asked him if he's open to a side project. But sure. And then we set up an appointment. Right? See, I followed up with him because I didn't hear back from him. Some people get scared when you ask for them to get on the phone. Sometimes I have to send 3 messages to people to ask them to get on the phone. Then after that, I'm like, all right, you're probably not interested in looking at this opportunity. So let me know, feel free to reach out at any time and just walk away. So sometimes they'll respond back, sometimes they won't, and then they're not serious if they didn't. But so.
Mary, you asked a question in the chat. I had seen it, but then scrolled past it, about if you would do an additional profile for Isagenix. Josh cannot like promote Isagenix on his page, or not to say he can't, but he's a little nervous to do that. But for me, in my situation, I can promote both positions on my page, like my physical therapy and just promoting health and wellness mentor or wellness mentor or coach or whatever. You can do it on the same page because, I mean, depends, I guess, what your job is and if you are planning to be there for, a while. But yeah, I think you can have them both on the same page.
Well, and so personally, I don't have Isagenix as my title. There's Isagenix stuff on my page. So accolades, things that, awards, whatever, there's stuff that's there. That's Isagenix. And, somebody would have to actually go in and read through my profile to see it. But I don't post it up on my heading.
Right. Yeah, and like you belong to Isagenix groups and
yeah. So just know that every message you send to somebody you don't know, the first thing they're going to do is look at your profile. They're going to look at everything about your profile and make sure you're a real person, see if you have a job, see what your history is, see if you have endorsements. And if your profile is not set up properly, they're probably not going to respond to you. So make sure it's just filled out as complete as possible with just as much information as you're comfortable sharing.
So Mary, if you're gonna do a LinkedIn page, I would highly suggest kind of looking at some of the other teammates' pages that that already have pages, just to kind of get verbiage and how it's set up and stuff. That's kind of how I did it initially, was just kind of looking at other people's pages. Any questions? Chadwick, I know you have a question.
I don't have a question, but I have a quick story.
As long as it's quick.
4 years ago on LinkedIn, I saw this kid, and this is one thing I think Josh was alluding to, find people who, kind of their story fascinates you. And this kid was sailing all over the world. So I'm like, dude, that's really cool. So I just messaged him, and he had like a really unique title to his name. I forget what it was, but I'm like, messaged him, and we went back and forth for 4 years. Like, I'd be in contact with him. I wouldn't hear from him for like 3 months. And then, 4 years go by, and he's back in the States. He was traveling again all over the world. He's back in the States, and we got to talk about Isogenics, and he placed an order, subsequently enrolled his mom, subsequently enrolled his dad, his brother, a couple friends. So the point is, the dude is, I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, all hands on deck. He bought a laundry truck, and he's traveling the entire west coast of the U.S., all the way down to his boat that's docked in Mexico. And he's going to be spreading Isogenics all through the trip. And his brothers are a part-time race car driver, and he's doing the exact same thing. So point being, you never know who you're going to be meeting on LinkedIn, and find people who are interesting, because there's enough people out there who are kind of blah. Find people who are interesting, because those people who are interesting, we're going to have that story, and they're going to be ready for something like this. Like, yeah, man, I was talking to a buddy of mine, AK, today, and he said, I no longer work for money. Get this, guys, write this down. This is a big one. I no longer work for money. I work for freedom. That one hit me like a ton of bricks. So find people who are working for freedom, not just working for a paycheck.
Yeah, there are a lot of cool people on LinkedIn that you haven't met yet. Jojo and I had a call with a guy, I don't know, 2 months ago, and he enrolled that night. First conversation. His name was Asa. I thought he was a girl. I didn't even know he was a guy until I got on the phone with him. And half hour later, the guy enrolled, and he's like, this is exactly what I was looking for. So there are people on LinkedIn that are out there and looking. You just have to find them. So.
Very true. So Josh, if I can kind of put your DMO in maybe a couple bullet points, it would be connect. And once the person connects, you endorse.
Yeah.
And send a message.
Yeah.
And then put their information into a base app or ISOtools. Get all their information. Note when you talk to them and what you sent them, and or what you're talking about. Set the point or send a message.
Set a task for a week later, no matter what, just in case.
Okay, so set a task.
Yep.
Then send a message.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully when they message back, you set an appointment to get on the phone.
Yeah. Do that over and over again.
Right. Okay.
Every day.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
Does anybody have questions?
All right. Thanks so much, everyone.
On your to-do list. I'm just checking out. I mean, can you unshare your screen? Because I can't see everybody. I don't know if anybody has questions.
Oh, sure.
please.
Can I ask a quick one, Josh?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think most people on this line have jobs. How many hours a day do you put into your LinkedIn prospecting and communicating?
I do 5 to 7 a.m. every day. And I do usually 8 to 10 at night every day. And then I scatter it throughout the day whenever I'm just, if I'm at the bus stop, I'm going to shoot like 5 connections off.
And do you talk with your wife and say, wife, this is what I'm doing during these times. Don't bother me?
She's sleeping.
5 to 7, yes.
5 to 7, she's sleeping. So that's my time. But now we have a puppy, and now I work 5 to 6, and then I try to not be bit for an hour.
Yeah, right there with you.
Yeah. But no, from 8 to 10, Marci's doing the same thing. So.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. So she's not playing on her phone, computer games, or watching TV.
Well, we kind of can watch.
Sky.
Hi.
Sky's there.
Tyler.
World traveler,
Aw.
world helper.
It's
That's
like
awesome.
when we do work like at nighttime, sometimes we just have the TV going in the background. Sometimes we don't. But if we have a caller, Josh sets appointments for after 8.
But if you can
A lot of time.
from 5 to 7 in the morning, or just even if you just do it before you do anything else in the day and just shoot off like 10, 15 messages, the rest of your day, they're going to start trickling in.
Yeah.
You've already started like the wheels in the morning, and all you have to do is just start setting appointments later in the day,
Yeah, I think that was something I remember. I think it's Mike Murgatroyd. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. But I think he had said kind of like instead of like taking it day by day, he takes it by a week, and he'll send out like 50 messages on Monday, and then the rest of the week he'll do answering the messages and setting appointments and doing all that stuff. So it's kind of like Josh takes it 5 to 7 in the morning, but you can also do like a whole chunk in one day and then respond the rest of the week. So there's more than one way to do it. But if you have questions or they come up after this call, please don't hesitate to reach out to one of us. We are both more than happy to help out. And if anybody doesn't have a LinkedIn and would like to have one, we can help you set that up, give you some tips. Any other comments, questions, gratitude, celebrations? Vinny.
Hey, thanks, Josh. By the way, that was very informative. I love learning new things every day.
Sure.
Yep, awesome. You were awesome. I like to just throw it out there. Everybody on this call obviously is building a business, and there's a lot of things on the internet like ISA FYI, for instance, that maybe occasionally we should all check in on these things, because they announce so many different things that nobody knows about, and I see it posted all over. People are like, well, what about this and what about that? Well, the company does put it out there, so we need to be just a little bit more aware of what's on FYI. For instance, today the company is open up now for Spirit of Isogenics nominations. So if you know anybody that encompasses the Spirit of Isogenics, get on there and throw them a little shout out and nominate them for something. That's what we're all about. We're all about helping our team and pumping people up. So the only way anybody is ever going to get recognized by the company is if everybody on the team helps to get them recognized. So we need to do things like that. And that's pretty much all I had to say. I love all of you. Thanks to Marci and Josh for hosting this. It's really, really a pleasure to watch you guys grow. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, everybody. That was awesome. Thank you, Josh. Drop some nuggets and I don't know, LinkedIn bombs. It was beautiful.
Thank you, Josh.
For sure. I learned many, many, many little things that I didn't know. So LinkedIn, I like it, but it kind of eludes me sometimes. So there were some things that were really helpful. So appreciated. Totally. Great job, you guys.
All right, awesome. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Is there anything else, Jojo?
I don't think so.
No? All right. Thanks, guys.
Go rock your life.
Go rock your life.